When it comes to getting a divorce in the state of Colorado, there are a few threshold requirements that a person has to meet before filing. The first is that you have to be here for at least 91 days. And if you have kids, your kids must have lived here for at least 182 days. Now, in the United States, there are two different types of jurisdictions. One that we call community property. You've probably heard of that. Colorado is not community property. Colorado is what is called an equitable distribution state. All that means is that in general, the court is going to look at all of your income, all of your debt, all of your assets, and is going to try to divide them as close to even as possible. It's never going to be exactly even. It's going to be an equitable distribution based on the facts of the case. Now, once you meet those threshold requirements, it is then up to you to decide what type of divorce that might be appropriate for your circumstances.
There are 4 ways you can pursue a divorce case in Colorado. The first is what we call contested divorce or litigated divorce. This is when the parties have attorneys, petitions get filed, responses get filed, financials get exchanged, and the case goes to court, essentially. The second is an uncontested case. This is when the parties agree on everything and they simply file their divorce proceedings in court and a judge signs off on it. The third is mediation. For mediation, typically the parties have an attorney, they exchange information, and they actually go to a mediation setting with a mediation facilitator who will help them to settle any outstanding issues and get their divorce finalized at that time. The last way is collaborative divorce. In order to practice collaborative divorce, you need to be certified in it. We have attorneys that practice in that area at Colorado Legal Group, and that is typically done completely outside of court. The parties work together to have essentially the most gentle form of divorce that they can possibly have.
There are 4 major components to any divorce case in Colorado. The first one is the division of your assets and debts. So assets are going to be all of the property that you own, the real property like real estate, like the home that you own, all the stuff that you have, which is your personal property, and then all the other assets you have, like your 401k accounts or your stock and bond accounts and things like that. Court's going to divide that as equitably as possible. Court is also going to determine child custody. They're going to use a standard called best interests of the child in determining what the proper custody and parenting time is going to be in your case. Child support is something that the court is also going to determine. That's pretty straightforward in Colorado. They're going to look at an accurate number for the income for both parties, and they're going to use a child support calculator to figure that out. And then finally, if appropriate, after all those things are looked at, if it's still appropriate, the court will look at alimony. And that's also known as maintenance in Colorado. It depends a lot on the party's need and the other party's ability to pay. But those are generally the big issues that the court's going to look at in your divorce.
If you're facing a divorce, whether it's amicable or not, at Colorado Legal Group, our goal is to always help you get divorced without drama. If you think that's something we can help you with, give us a call.